Hello, my sweet intermediate algebra students. So you have tried all these problems on your own first, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through piece by piece how to do them. Some of these you'll be able to do with Desmos, and some of these I need you to do by hand. Make sure that you can do them both, okay? So question number 1. So Tim buys 3 chocolates and 1 bubble gum for $1.35. Juanita buys 1 chocolate and 1 bubble gum for 50 cents. How much does each chocolate and bubble gum cost? So what I want to see you do is I want to see you say Tim, right? Because Tim's the first one. 3 chocolates and 1 bubble gum is $1.35. Juanita has 1 chocolate and 1 bubble gum for 50 cents. So that's the first thing I want to see, is that you can set up the equations. Remember, we are just translating 3 chocolates and 1 bubble gum for $1.35. So it is literally word by word that you are translating what you see. 1 chocolate and 1 bubble gum for 50 cents. So that's the first part. Now the second part is I want you to solve. What we see is that we have the same thing here. We have bubble gums, 1 and 1. So we need to subtract the bottom from the top. We're going to subtract, subtract, subtract. And you got to know that I've got your test right next to me while I'm doing this. So if you're taking really good notes, your test is going to be really, really manageable. 3c minus 1c is 2c. 1b minus 1b is 0. And $1.35 minus 50 cents is, let's see, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 85 cents divided by 2. And that's chocolate is 42.5 cents. Okay, so if chocolate is 42.5 cents, what we're going to do is we're going to say 0.425 plus 1 bubble gum is 50 cents. See, I just substituted. That's all I did, is I substituted C in for 1 chocolate. And then we're just going to solve. So I'm going to subtract 0.425 from both sides, and that's 0.075. So bubblegum is cheap, 7.5 cents. If I go too fast, remember that you can pause the video and go back and rewatch the segment. Make sure you have really rocking notes. You need really, really good notes. Number 2, you need to do by hand. Same with number 6. I don't know what, well, I do know why they're 6 and 7, and you'll see when you take your test. Haha. Number 2, you need to do by hand, as well as number 6 and 7. So number 2, what I have to begin with is I have the x's, which are the same, and one is the opposite of the other. Therefore, all I'm going to do is add. I'm just going to add. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. And if you don't believe me, please use your calculator. 3y's plus another y, because remember this is the magic mystery 1, is 4y's. And 8 plus 4 is 12. That means y is 3. Now we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to take an equation. You remember this. I kept asking which equation do you want to substitute in, and we all decided that using the first equation was usually easiest, because it's, you know, it's the first. 2x plus 3 times 3 equals 8. Okay, get your eyeball where it needs to be. Here's y equals 3. That's why I changed. 2x plus 6 is 8. Subtract 6. 2x is 2, x is 1. You're not done yet. You want to write your final answer as 1, 3. You can do this. I promise. You can do this. For our next problem, we have a 4x and a 2x, so those don't match. We have a 3y and a 4y, and those don't match. So what can I multiply the second equation by so that my 4x will cancel out? I can multiply the second equation by -2. I'm going to multiply the entire equation by -2. Okay, so that means I will have 4x plus 3y equals 18. -2 times 2 is -4x. -2 times -4 is +8. And -2 times 5 is -10. Now we're just going to go straight down. 4x minus 4x is 0. 3y plus 8y is 11y. And 18 minus 10 is 8. We're going to divide both sides by 11. And that means y is 8/11. And you're like, Miss Meyer, why did you give us fractions? Well, because I love you and I like to challenge you, but in a good and healthy way. So we're going to just go ahead and paste that. And what's cool here is we're going to take out the y. I'm just going to take out the y, and we're going to replace it with 8/11. Kind of squished it in there, but you got it. Now use your calculator, right? So 4x plus 24/11 equals 8. And I'm going to subtract 24/11 from both sides. And you're not going to panic about this. Instead, you're going to remember that the calculator that we use in class does fractions really, really nicely. And we're going to use our calculator, okay? So what am I going to type in? I'm going to type in 8 minus 24/11. And check this out. See where it says 5 and 9/11? That's the fraction I want to use. 4x equals 5 and 9/11. Fractions are good for you. They're good for the soul. Now we're going to divide both sides by 4. In your calculator, you need to hit enter first and then divided by 4. And your final answer is x is 1 and 5/11. Okay? So that's how you're going to do this. Let's look at our answer and make sure we write our answer as a final. We have 1 and 5/11 and 8/11. This is x and this is y. There you go. That one's way harder than the one on the test. I'm just saying. Number 7. What do I do to turn a 1x into the opposite of -3? Well, I'm going to multiply the whole thing by, right, I'm going to multiply the whole thing just by 3. And I wind up with -3x minus 9y equals 5. 3x plus 9y equals 0. And because we have opposites, -3 and +3, these cancel. Uh-oh, -9 and +9 also cancels. This is weird. Since when does 0 equal 5? This is no solution. I'm not saying that there's a no solution question on the test, but I'm not saying that there's a not. Depends on which version you get, okay? Okay, so now once we get to where it says graph, this is all about how are you using your Desmos. Okay, so you're going to graph. Go ahead and get your Desmos open. What I'm going to want you to do is when you're using Desmos on your test, I'm actually going to want you to input the pictures so that I know you did it right. You're going to have y, oh wait, never mind, it's multiple choice. Just pick the right picture. Y greater than or equal to 4x plus 4. Now I can take a picture of that if I wanted to and put it on my notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up 4 over 1. It's a solid line, and I color up. There you go. Okay, so go back and check what you've done so far. This will be the end of the first video. Go back and check what you've done so far. If there's something you still don't understand, fix it, or email me a question or ask Miss Hughes. I'm going to stop this video and start a new one. So take a little bit of a break, but then come back and finish up the videos.